Alright, folks, settle in, grab a warm drink, and get ready for a story that'll warm your soul. Now, before we dive into this tale of rhythm, resilience, and a whole lot of heart, I want to ask you something. Where are you watching from? Drop a comment below and let me know. I love to see how far these stories travel. And while you're at it, if you enjoy a good story, a tale that makes you think and feel, then hit that subscribe button and ring that little bell. We've got plenty more where this came from, stories that'll make you laugh, cry, and maybe even inspire you to make a difference in your own community. This story, well, it's a bit of a dream, a what if that turned into a what is. It's about a giant of a man, a booming voice, and a simple act of kindness that sparked a movement. So, get comfortable, get ready to be inspired, and let's get started. The biting Chicago wind whipped down State Street like a hungry wolf, making the already thin coats of the folks lined up outside Hope's Hearth Soup Kitchen feel like mere whispers of fabric. Inside, the air was thick with the aroma of simmering stew, a small, warm haven against the brutal winter. And there, amongst the volunteers, stood a giant. Not just any giant, mind you, but Shaquille O'Neal, Big Shaq himself, his massive frame barely fitting behind the serving counter. Now, Shaq, he's always been a man of the people. He's got that booming laugh that fills a room, and a heart as big as his shoe size. He'd been volunteering at Hope's Hearth for a few weeks, slipping in when he could, no fanfare, just a desire to help. He'd ladle out soup, pass out bread, and offer a kind word or a joke, always making folks smile, even if just for a moment. Among the regulars was a man named Earl, a wiry fellow with eyes that held the weight of too many winters on the street. Earl was a quiet soul, usually keeping to himself, but he had a rhythm in his bones, a beat that pulsed beneath his weathered skin. Today, as Shaq handed him a steaming bowl of stew, Earl tapped his fingers on the metal tray, a subtle, rhythmic patter. "That's a nice beat you got there, Earl," Shaq boomed, his voice echoing in the small space. Earl looked up, startled, a flicker of surprise in his eyes. "Just something in my head," he mumbled, his voice raspy. "Well, let's hear it," Shaq said, grinning. "Maybe we can make a song out of it." A few of the other folks in line chuckled, a mix of amusement and disbelief. But Shaq was serious. He started tapping his own foot, adding a simple bass line to Earl's rhythm. "Boom, boom, bap," he said, his voice a low rumble. Earl, encouraged by Shaq's genuine interest, started to hum, a low, melodic drone that wove around the beat. He began to speak, almost a chant, about the cold, the hunger, and the hope that flickered in the warmth of the soup kitchen. "Cold wind blowin', bones are atchin', belly empty, heart is breakin'," Earl recited, his voice gaining strength with each word. "But the soup is hot, the bread is warm, Hope's hearth keeps me from the storm." Shaq's eyes lit up. "That's it, Earl. That's the hook." He started to move, swaying slightly to the rhythm, his massive hands gesturing like a conductor leading an orchestra. "Soup kitchen rap, yeah, that's the track," Shaq rapped, his voice booming over the hum of the kitchen. "Gonna fill your belly, gonna get you back on track." The other folks in line, initially hesitant, started to join in, clapping their hands, tapping their feet. A woman named Mary, who always had a smile and a story to share, began to sing a soulful melody over the beat. A young man named Tommy, who carried a worn-out harmonica, pulled it out and started to play a bluesy riff. The soup kitchen transformed into a makeshift recording studio, a symphony of voices and sounds rising above the clatter of plates and the hiss of the stove. Shaq, the conductor, the cheerleader, the heart of the moment, kept the energy high, encouraging everyone to express themselves. "Tell your story," he boomed. "Let your voice be heard." And they did. Earl spoke of his lost job, his eviction, the slow slide into homelessness. Mary sang of her dreams, her hopes for a better future. Tommy's harmonica wailed a mournful tune, a lament for lost opportunities. Shaq, with his natural charisma and innate understanding of rhythm, wove their stories into a cohesive rap, a raw and honest reflection of their lives. He added his own verses, speaking of the importance of community, of helping those in need, of finding hope in the darkest of times. "We ain't just faces in the crowd," he rapped, his voice filled with emotion. "We're people with stories, voices loud. We're here to rise, to break the chain, to find our strength, to ease the pain." Someone pulled out a phone and started recording. The impromptu performance, raw and authentic, captured the heart of the moment. It wasn't polished, it wasn't perfect, but it was real. It was the sound of hope, rising from the depths of despair. By the time the last note faded, the soup kitchen was buzzing with energy. Folks were smiling, laughing, hugging. There was a sense of camaraderie, a feeling that they were all in this together. The video, uploaded online by the person with the phone, quickly went viral. People were drawn to the authenticity, the raw emotion, the sheer humanity of the performance. They saw the faces of the homeless, not as statistics, but as individuals with stories, with dreams, with voices. The soup kitchen rap became an anthem, a call to action. News outlets picked up the story, showcasing the power of music to unite and inspire. Donations started pouring in, small contributions from individuals, larger sums from corporations and foundations. Shaq, ever the advocate, used his platform to amplify the message. He appeared on talk shows, news programs, sharing the stories of Earl, Mary, Tommy, and the other folks at Hope's Hearth. He spoke of the need for affordable housing, for job training, for mental health services. He emphasized that homelessness wasn't a choice, but a circumstance, a complex issue that required compassion and action. The viral video and Shaq's advocacy sparked a national conversation about homelessness. People started to see the problem in a new light, not as an abstract issue, but as a human tragedy that affected real people, real families. The donations continued to grow, fueled by the emotional connection to the soup kitchen rap. A group of architects and builders volunteered their time, creating plans for a permanent housing complex, a place where the folks from Hope's Hearth could find shelter, stability, and a chance to rebuild their lives. The dream was taking shape, brick by brick, fueled by the rhythm of a rap, the warmth of a soup kitchen, and the heart of a giant. And it was just the beginning. The buzz around the soup kitchen rap didn't just fade away like a fleeting internet trend. It grew, it resonated, it became a movement. The donations kept pouring in, a testament to the power of a simple, heartfelt message. Shaq, bless his soul, wasn't about to let the momentum die. He became the face of the movement, but more importantly, he became the voice of the voiceless. He spent countless hours at Hope's Hearth, not just serving soup, but listening. He sat with Earl, Mary, and Tommy, hearing their stories, their struggles, their hopes. He learned about the systemic issues that led to their homelessness, the lack of affordable housing, the crippling effects of job loss, the devastating impact of untreated mental health issues. He took those stories with him, sharing them on every platform he could find. He went to city council meetings, lobbied state legislators, even spoke at a national housing conference. He didn't just talk about the problem, he presented solutions. He advocated for increased funding for affordable housing, for job training programs, for mental health services. He stressed the importance of wraparound services, providing not just shelter, but the support needed to rebuild lives. The architectural plans for the housing complex, dubbed Hope Village, were unveiled. It wasn't just a building, it was a community. It included individual apartments, a communal dining area, a library, a computer lab, and a garden. It was designed to be a safe, supportive environment where residents could heal and thrive. Construction began, a tangible symbol of the change that was happening. Volunteers from all walks of life showed up, eager to lend a hand. Construction workers, electricians, plumbers, even local artists, all contributed their skills and time. The spirit of the soup kitchen rap permeated the construction site, a sense of shared purpose and collective effort. Shaq, naturally, was right in the middle of it all, swinging a hammer, mixing concrete, encouraging the volunteers. He even organized a build-a-thon, a weekend-long event where hundreds of volunteers came together to work on the project. Meanwhile, the soup kitchen rap continued to spread, becoming an anthem for social change. Schools, churches, and community centers used it in their programs, sparking discussions about homelessness and social justice. Musicians created remixes and covers, adding their own voices to the message. Earl, Mary, and Tommy, initially shy and hesitant, became spokespeople for the movement. They shared their stories at community events, on local news programs, and even at a national rally for affordable housing. They became symbols of hope, proof that change was possible. Earl, with his newfound confidence, started writing more songs, his lyrics filled with hope and resilience. He formed a small band with Tommy and a few other residents of Hope's Hearth, performing at local venues and community events. Their music became a soundtrack for the movement, a testament to the power of art to heal and inspire. Mary, with her infectious smile and warm personality, became a mentor to other residents of Hope's Hearth. She helped them navigate the complexities of finding jobs, accessing social services, and rebuilding their lives. She became a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there was always light to be found. Tommy, his harmonica wailing a bluesy tune, found a renewed sense of purpose. He started teaching harmonica lessons to children at a local community center, sharing his love of music and his passion for self-expression. As Hope Village neared completion, the excitement grew. The residents of Hope's Hearth, who had once lived on the streets, were filled with anticipation, dreaming of a future where they had a place to call home. The grand opening of Hope Village was a celebration of community, a testament to the power of collective action. Shaq, Earl, Mary, Tommy, and countless others stood on a stage, their voices filled with joy and gratitude. "This ain't just a building," Shaq boomed, his voice echoing through the crowd. "This is a symbol of hope, a testament to the power of community, a reminder that we can all make a difference." Earl stepped forward, his eyes shining with tears of joy. "This is more than just a home," he said, his voice trembling with emotion. "This is a chance to rebuild our lives, to find our purpose, to be part of something bigger than ourselves." Mary, her smile radiant, spoke of the importance of community, of supporting one another, of building a future where everyone had a chance to thrive. Tommy, his harmonica wailing a celebratory tune, played a melody of hope, a song of resilience, a soundtrack for a new beginning. The residents of Hope Village moved into their new homes, a mix of relief, joy, and gratitude washing over them. They had a place to call their own, a safe haven, a community of support. The soup kitchen rap had sparked a movement, a ripple effect of change that extended far beyond the walls of Hope's Hearth. It had shown the world that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges, hope could prevail, change was possible, and the power of community could build homes and break chains. The story wasn't just about building a housing complex, it was about building a community, about restoring dignity, about giving people a second chance. It was a story about the power of music, the power of compassion, and the power of one giant heart to make a difference. And that, my friends, is a story worth telling.